Welcome to another episode of In the Nude. It's been a bit since I got on here, and let's talk about why, because it plays a part in all of this. I was not doing okay with all of the world and the world is doing, all of the madness that is out there, in my opinion, madness that is out there. And so I took time and space for myself, because I found myself getting too wrapped up in news cycles and concerns about the future and trying to grasp at control and trying to take enough actions and feeling overwhelmed with how things are going and the trajectory, and just like not being okay. Feeling like I needed to do more but unsure of what the more was, feeling the need to like grasp and claw at trying to have anything within my control, anything to make it feel and do better. Constantly externally trying to fix something, which is our natural coping mechanisms from the past. We lived in an un-okay world, and we're trying to get to a place where we're okay. And sometimes I forget. I forget about being okay myself in a not okay place. I see the pains of the people around me. I see the chaos of the choices that are being made. I see what seems like crazy that's going on. And then I start taking that on, and I start being not okay. And when I found myself in that place, I needed a pause. I needed a pause from creating. I needed a pause from trying to give. I needed to turn that thought process and that education and that mentality inward again. I got lost in the mix. I got grasping and trying to get control instead of learning how to be in the moment, how to breathe, how to be that calm in the chaos. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I did to try to help myself. One, I have the privilege of not having to constantly be informed. While it's beneficial to know some of the things that are going on, the level of constant news and constantly being informed was not something that was beneficial for me. There was too much negativity, too much denigration, too much that I couldn't take action on. In order for me to help people, I don't necessarily have to know everything that's going on. I can know these are places I can go to take actions, like 5 calls. Right? That's an app that's really great for if you want to take action and try to help people. They will tell you exactly the things that are going on in snippet form and what you can do to make a difference. That is where I shifted from, having to see it all, be it all, whatever. I cut back on my social media. I didn't consume a whole bunch, but I got a little spirally, a little bit of death scroll when it came for trying to be informed with what's going on. And it's like once you start the cascade, the snowball, it just kind of rolls down the hill. That's what it went for me when it came to all of the stuff that was going on. So I cut back on social media. I cut back on creating it. I cut back on consuming it. I cut back on literally even streaming. Like I just pulled back within myself, and I was like, you know what, we're going to have a hiatus. I did things that brought me joy. I started redoing my bedroom to make it more me. I read a book that I enjoyed for entertainment purposes, and I started reading another book that I was enjoying, learning what was there, refilling myself with ways that I can feel empowered and feel different, give different options on how to help myself. I took more time to just exist in nature. For me, nature is naturally calming. The sounds that exist, the paying attention to the sensations of feel and see and hear bring me back to the present moment. And the more that I can be in a present moment, this exact moment, the less the noise starts to overwhelm. I'm a person who naturally gets a wide view. Naturally, I get overwhelmed. I can't sequence things in the right way to make it so it's simple and easy like some people. I can get overwhelmed really easy, and one of the best ways is for me to come, instead of looking at everything and feeling everything, is to come to the present moment. So being outside, watching out my window right now, the leaves getting blown across. And if I was watching it while I was listening to the sounds of the wind and the birds that were going on, feeling the wind on my face, the more I get pulled into the present moment. And the more I'm in the moment, the calmer it is for me. I journaled. I existed in those feelings. I resonated with them for myself. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. It is scary what's going on. It's not wrong of you to feel defeated or sad or angry, mad or rageful. And for me, it took taking actions too. It took me getting 5 Calls app. It took me joining a group of people who are trying to make a difference in some small, tangible ways, even if it's something as silly as calling representatives or talking about and engaging with what is. For me, that action took a part. I know some other people that are friends of mine that they're taking actions, but that those actions look different than mine. But movement, feeling less helpless, was helpful for me. It isn't an easy place to be. I feel like when you're in the midst of healing, there's a level of awareness, a level of empathy, a level of engagement in critical assessment that exists that can make all of what's going on right now that much harder for you. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like those things correlate. And so if you are also in a place of not necessarily doing well, make sure that you take care of yourself, because the best way to be able to make a difference, to make an impact, to see a change, to have the world look more like what you feel like, a loving, empathetic place, it starts here with us, with our taking care of ourselves, with us checking in with ourselves and reminding ourselves of the small glimmers of beauty in our life. Like, chaos can be around everywhere, yes. But if we take the time to stop and acknowledge, you know what, I'm really grateful for how amazing my kids are. They're growing and changing and becoming themselves, and they're feeling able and confident enough to say opinions and thought processes, and they don't necessarily match mine, and that means they're thinking for themselves, and that's fantastic, and I'm grateful for that. I have a beautiful and fantastic co-parenting relationship that I didn't necessarily expect to be able to be the case. I'm grateful for that. I had the ability and health to be able to carry my nightstands out into my garage that I have, to be able to sand them and pull the stain off and then restain them and repaint them how I wanted to look. I'm grateful for that, right? If we take the time in the midst of all of it, and we don't let all of it rob from us our joy, our ability to see the good, because the world is gonna be chaos. The world is gonna have stuff going wrong. And if we can only have joy and we can only have peace when things are going right, then we're gonna have a really sad life, right? So it's about figuring out how to take care of ourselves, how to find that joy, how to find that peace in the midst of internal chaos, external chaos, all of it. That's what this journey is about, right? And so for me, I needed to reassess. I needed to pull back. I needed to take care of me. So if you are in a place, it's okay if you need to take a pause. It's okay if you need to retract. It's okay if you can't handle engaging with people who disagree with you right this second. It's okay if you feel an endless slew of feelings. I was having a conversation with my daughter the other day about feelings and about failure. Because the poor girl has a lot of parenting that happened before I started learning about shame, learning about perfectionism and healing. And so she has these ingrained patterns from when I was unhealed, pushing that on her. So we were having conversations about the fact that when you fail, when you're failing in the midst of not doing what you want to do, and you have this like frustration at not being who you want yourself to be, at not having or achieving the things you want to achieve, what then? Because there's like a disappointment and anger and frustration and like rage that can come with that. Self-denigration, or denigration and condescension outward, both come from the same seed. They both come from feeling unworthy, feeling defeated, feeling out of control. The path towards the life you want to have, the path towards that change you want to have, we've done shame. Brene Brown has an extensive amount of research. If you don't know who she is, please look her up, because it's fantastic information and it's all science-based, about how shame is literally extremely detrimental to humans. Well, we've tried it. We've tried saying you should have, wagging our finger at ourselves, or wagging our finger at other people, or somebody else wagging their finger at us. We've done it and it doesn't work. The path towards the life we want isn't filled with being negative about not having gotten there yet. About, the path we get there is through respect, compassion, and love. And yes, I think that's something that we also have to not only give ourselves, but give other people. But you cannot give to someone else something you have not first given to yourself. I can't sit here and have a conversation with another person who has a differing viewpoint on mine and try to respect where they are, and also ask questions to have them think through things and be willing to receive what they have to say and think through it myself instead of just continuously dismissing it. I can't offer that to them if I haven't offered it to myself, if I haven't sat with myself in the uncomfortable of questioning my own thought process and having those conversations with myself. So one of the best things you can do right now, no matter what your thought process is on any part of politics or humanity or any of that, is you doing this work. And we can get so distracted with wanting to make a difference, wanting to help other people, wanting to have something look different, and feeling the need and desire to control and grasp. It's fair to feel that way. One of the things that is a foundational thing you can grasp at is grasping it at yourself. Giving yourself the space for compassion and care and respect. Doing this work, because this work is the foundation of all the other things you want to do, all the other impacts you want to make. So, it's okay if you can't blank, fill in the blank right now. It's okay. Sometimes there's a season for rest for a reason. Sometimes there's a season of recalibration for a reason. Sometimes there's a season of self-assessment and seeing what needs to adjust or change in our mentality or thought process, or how we're showing up for other people or ourselves. You're worth that work. You're worth taking the break. You're worth sitting with yourself. You're worth that compassion. You're worth it.